So the recording has started now, and we can go back to our slide. So is this clear, or is there any doubt in what I've just told you? Okay, great, it is clear. So we move on to the next slide. So we look at, now did you know that there is a review tab which is there when you are reviewing something? Review tab is there in Word. So we are now talking about MS Word, where you can make comments, you can go for the research, evaluating, noting, showing comments, tracking changes, accepting or rejecting, and comparison. So this review tab is there in Word, and we also have a reference tab. Okay, this is of course more relevant and useful to you at the moment. So what I will do is I will now stop sharing this slide, and I will go back to opening a Word file, and I will share the Word file with you. So it's a blank document that I choose, and then I share this blank document. So is my Word file visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
So now you see I talked about a review. So this is the review tab, and you can see when you are reviewing, or I review generally a lot of thesis using these tools. You can also review, and here we have option for accepting, rejecting, tracking all the changes. So this is a review tab, which is of course relevant to any article that you may be writing, or any thesis, or any uh, submission you will be making for LLM, dissertation you call it. So they are all similar kind of things. And there, of course, it's a research oriented. So we now move on to the more relevant, which is what I'm going to teach you initially today, and that is a reference. So if you have a reference, then this reference tab is very useful for writing a dissertation. So if you're writing a dissertation, use this reference tool. Now the question remains, when do I start writing? I would suggest that you start as early as possible with the help of your teachers, and because it takes time. So if you write one page every day, and if you have a month, 30 pages you can write, 2 months, 60 pages, so on. So at least target like that and do it. Now, the first thing that I will teach you here is the table of contents, which is generally very uh, important, and it becomes very messy if you do not use the computer. So if you want to use the table of content, you will not be able to do it unless you learn a few more things. Okay, so if I go for table of content right now, I will not be able to do much. Okay, except that there are certain formats which are displayed, and I can use any one of the formats. These are built-in formats. I can also customize the table of content as per my desire. So first thing, before using the table of content, I have got to create some chapters. Now, before creating the chapters, I have to go to home. When you go to home, you will find that there is a styles column. Is this visible? Styles. If it is not visible, let me know. So you have got normal, you've got no space, heading 1, heading 2, title. So I start with the title, and I have to click on the title. Then I will get a certain format. So the title is, say, dissertation. This is the title. Now You see, as soon as I made enter, it came back to normal. This is my normal writing. But in dissertation, I want a heading 1. In heading 1, I write chapter 1. Then I write, after chapter 1, I can go for a heading 2, section 1. And obviously, uh, the dissertation is my title page. So I can insert a page break here. This will be on the first page. The second page will contain chapter 1, and the third page will contain chapter section 1. So I've got 3 pages. And of course, if I want to write something, normally I can do that. So I go to this place and normal, whatever I want to type, I can type, and that will be there. That will not be captured. What will be the captured will be title, subtitle, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Those things will be captured. Now I go right on top, and maybe after the I can have before insert another page break. You can have a cover page also that is given right on top. So if you have a cover page, you can have a cover page here. So this becomes the cover page, and this is a blank page in between cover page. So you can have a cover page. Then I go to references and click on table of contents, and I choose this. Now, as soon as I do that, what do I see? Contents has come in. Chapter 1 is on page 3. Section 1 is on page 4. This comes automatically. Now, while writing, I have written another page on. In chapter 1, I have written another page. So what do I have to do? I have to go to table of contents, not here, where we have the table of contents, which is here, and click on update table. Update page numbers only. You can update the entire table or just the page number. So you see section 1 is now gone to page 5 because I've inserted another page in between. So this will become automatic, and this whole content will be displayed automatically if you follow the instructions that I've just given you. This way, what happens is that you can keep updating and rewriting. It will not be a messy work, and you don't have to all the time go back and see where you have to put in something. So this is one thing which I recommend, that you have a cover page. Now that cover page is undisturbed, and then you have a table of content which is computerized, because then you can update the entire table also. Say instead of chapter, if I write here chapter 1 introduction, then I can go here, update table, and update the entire table. As soon as I put that, you see the introduction has come in here. And it automatically, if somebody wants to go to introduction straight away, he has to control and click this. He straight away goes to the introduction. So this becomes very handy once you know how to use it. And you will be wasting little time in doing all kinds of formatting and then finding that this is spilled over from this area to that area. Now, another thing which I will tell you is you have been told about citation by Ajay sir. He told me that he told you citation, right? Now, who can tell me what are the sources from which you can cite? Anybody?
So, case laws,
Yes, you can cite
uh,
from
case laws, sir.
case laws, excellent, and
Uh, so, research work which has been
research work,
done
okay, previous research works,
in research work, sir. Uh,
or
uh, Books.
books, very good, articles, journals,
Yes, sir.
and
And mm,
so we have certain difficulty.
yes,
You can see that there is an insert citation here as well. Did you see? There is an insert citation. Now, the first, before we cite, we have to manage the sources. Now, I have clicked on manage sources and I have got this dialog box open in front of me. Okay. Now, in this dialog box, there is a lot of things. You can search for something which is already there existing. Since we have nothing, it is showing blank. We can go for a new. I want to add a new detail that I want to cite. Now, this is the best tool. Types of sources. So we said that the book was a type of source. If book will be type of source, then what is the information I need according to APA? This is a style, which is just below. You can change the style to any other style that you desire. Author. So you need the author's name. If there's a co-author, you can write the name by ticking this. If there is none, you leave it. Title of the book, year of publication, city of publication, and publisher. So these are the fields required, minimum mandatory for a book to be quoted. Okay. Now, another very good thing from here is as soon as I open this, I get book section. So if it is an edited book, I need to have all these details. We can have a journal article, then these are the informations required. Journal name, year, pages in which your article is appearing. Article in a periodical, go for a magazine, then you have to note these things down. If you have to go for a conference proceeding, something you have got through a conference, then you need these informations. If you have to go for a report, then these are the details required. If you are going for a website, then these are the details required. Otherwise, it will not be considered as authentic. If it's a document from a website, then these are the details required. If it is an electronic source, then these are the information required. If it is an art, these are the information required. Sound recording, these are the information required. Performance that you have seen, these are the information required. Film, this is the information required. So now you can know that even from films you can quote. If it is an interview, these are the details required. If it is a patent, these are the information required. Case, these are the information required. So we find that, and of course there is a miscellaneous as well. So we have types of sources we can learn, not only types of sources, but what information to get from the type of sources. So now let us say,
So, what
yeah,
is APA? What is APA, sir?
APA is actually American Psychological Association. So I will just show it to you. These are styles in which your citation will appear. कोई को किताब ला दो ना, कोई भी किताब. So this is APA 6th edition. So it's a format in which you have to write. So this computer does for you automatically. Chicago, Blue Book you may have heard. Unfortunately, I think till now Word has not introduced Blue Book, but I am sure in future it will. Ghost, Award, IE, these are all different styles. MLA.
Sir,
Okay.
sir,
Yeah.
sir, then mainly Indians, what we follow, sir? APA or Chicago, sir?
APA is acceptable with all IIMs, IITs. If you are writing
Okay,
an article for an IIM or an IIT, you will find that they will insist on APA 6th edition. Supposing you are submitting an article,
yes, sir.
then in that, when you do that, they will themselves tell you which the style is to be followed. So recording the same information, you can change it here and automatically your article will get updated. You
Okay,
understand now? So these
sir,
are
but
specified by the people who are accepting your article.
sir, but in many law colleges in India, we used to follow Blue Book citation.
Yeah,
Then,
you can use that. Blue Book
but
citation, there is no problem. Same information is required.
as it is in the
No,
APA.
not as in APA. Blue Book has its own way. So what you have to do is you have to just search the net for Blue Book formatting, and that information you already have, you put it in that format. It will not come automatically as of now because Word has not yet included Blue Book. You can write to the Microsoft and ask them to include it. As when they include it, you will get an option here just like any other, and that option would be to just click it and you get it. Right now, that is not possible, although a lot of help is there on the net and you can use it. But right now, it is not available in Word. But all these are available. What is available, I have shown you. So as I said, don't make it a master. Use it as a slave. That is how you use the computer. So that is about APA or Chicago. No, now I go for the managed source, new, and if it is a book, now let us say I have got a book which is written by N.L. Bhatia. Okay. And there is a co-author. So I click this. Sampath. Okay. And the title of the book is Taxman's Takeover Games and SEBI Regulations. Year is 2002. If I want to include the month also, I can include it, say October. It is my wish, but year is only required. City is New Delhi, and the publisher is and Allied Services. Okay, and then I click on OK. What do I find? It has already gone in here and it has copied it for me for this particular. If I want to add another book, I can right here say Cliff Bowman is the author. Title would be of Strategic Management. Year is 1998. City is New Delhi. The publisher is a Prentice Hall of India. And I click on OK, and it goes in as another entry. Now that I have made the entry, I can close this. And I can go right at the end. Insert a page break. So I'm on a fresh page. Go back to my references and I click on bibliography and insert a bibliography. Now, works cited or references, whatever title I choose or style I choose, I can write. I click here, and what do I get? The work cited. You see, I had written Cliff Bowman. It is now writing C. Bowman. This is a particular APA style. In bracket 1998, I've missed the one, I think. So it has taken as 998. So the year is in bracket because that is the APA style. This is the, in italics, you get the name of the title, then the place, then Prentice Hall, the publisher. And in the same format, so you don't have to do any formatting. The formatting is done by the, now I don't like this, so I can delete it. Now, instead of say APA style, I go for Chicago 16th edition. So now if I click on the bibliography and I choose bibliography, this is how I get it. So now you see the full name has come, Cliff Bowman. I've not corrected this, so 998 remains. I can always go back to manage sources and click on the edit. And here I can insert the one, so it becomes 1998. Okay. Yes, so automatically these things get updated. So you see, update, and it becomes 1998. Is this clear so far? How you manage sources and how you can add bibliography automatically by. Now I want to use this same as a, so I just copy this and I want to use it as a, this is where I want to insert a footnote. So I just click on the insert footnote here and I put it here. I copied, pasted from there. So I don't have to worry about the format and all. And it has come exactly. And now this will remain at the bottom of the page. And one will go here and the one is here. So 1, 2, numbering will be done automatic. If you insert pages, it will automatically remain on the same page where the link is, where this, if this will go to another page, this will also go to another page. So automatically now your footnoting is taken care of. This means that your footnotes are not running away here and there, and there is no mess in your article or in your dissertation. So that is a footnoting. I can also go for end notes. Obviously, if I go for end note, it will appear at the end of the chapter. So at the end of the chapter, it will appear and I can paste it here as well. So this has become a end note. It will go to the end of the chapter. So of course, you don't have both in footnote and end note. You have either one of. Okay. And if you want to say, go for citation, then say, here I want to cite at this point, then I insert the citation. Now I can choose any one of these. I've got 2 entries, so I can choose from here. And you see, it has come in as a, in brackets, NL Bhatia, October 2002. This is how citation can also be inserted in your article. Is it clear so far, or is there any doubt? Please let me know. Yes? Is it clear? Of course, you can insert table of figures also, which will be basically graphs. You can do cross-referencing. You can insert captions in between, whatever. All these tools are given to you. And it's a menu-driven system. And if you have a lot of problem, you can always refer to the website. Website also tells you how to go about doing things. Sorry, YouTube. YouTube is a very good source of information. If you want to learn all these, you can do it from the YouTube tutorials also. Of course, Word also has got help, but YouTube is always better because they tell you in detail. Now, but for basic writing an article or a dissertation, this much is sufficient. Now we close the Word, right? This is over. If you have anything that you want to know, please let me know. Now I will go back to our Excel. Is that Excel visible? This is what we were doing yesterday.
Excuse me, sir, I have a doubt.
Go ahead.
Uh,
I'm looking forward to doubts.
so with regard to plagiarism check, when we upload this document, let's say our dissertation itself for plagiarism check, do we just copy the material, leaving the citations behind, or do we upload the material itself in the plagiarism software? As in, I just want to know because in my last university, they just wanted the material, the sentences what I have framed, or let's say the subject matter, not the citations, to be uploaded in the plagiarism software. So,
Yeah,
sir, if we use this method of
I've understood
citation,
your question, and if
sure,
you
sir.
permit, I will answer it.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, so let me answer you. Since I am the one who checks the plagiarism at CNLU also, so I will tell you there are actually different softwares to check the plagiarism. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
uh, right now, what UGC has done is that it has distributed a plagiarism checking software which is called Urkund. Now, this is, although this is free of cost to the universities, but it is a bad tool, in my opinion. So it doesn't have, these options to uh, click on that citations is to be and quotations is to be ignored. So now what is the alternative? If you write the citation and quotations, it will take it all as your own and then it will show as plagiarism. So what you do is you remove it and then you submit your article for Urkund purpose. And we are using Urkund. So you will always have to have the citations and all in proper formatting in one place and in another place without citations. All those citations and quotations also, which you may have taken, they have to be omitted altogether, removed. So you will have only what you have originally written in one place, which will be going for plagiarism check. And in another place, you will have including citations, because citations I'm openly admitting are not mine and have been taken from some other source. So there is no question of plagiarism there.
Yes, sir.
So that I can include in my article without any problem. There are certain other softwares where this option is given, and it will tell you that 90% of your article is quoted. So it will also show that's a comparatively higher percentage of quotations. So those softwares are also available, and in that case, you don't have to work hard and remove all the citations. It will come there, and you just have to note that you have to omit the citations and the quotations and the uh, bibliography and the bookmark. Otherwise, it will those options are there in the software. So we tick those options, and then we get the correct plagiarism result. But in Urkund, there is no such option. In fact, in Urkund, if you do not remove your previous article, it takes as 100% plagiarism. So we have to take pains and remove the previous article if it has been checked before we go for a recheck also. So that is how things are, and that is how you have to be prepared. So the best is when you are writing an article, in one place write without the citation, or the same article you can copy in another place and remove all those citations that you have made and quotations that you have given. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So that is how it works.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Welcome. Yeah.
सर
हाँ बोलिए.
सर वर्ड फाइल में जैसे अभी तो ब्लू बुक साइटेशन है नहीं, तो अगर जो जब हम लोग फुटनोट डालेंगे इन एनी आर्ट इन एनी ऑफ द आर्टिकल और एनी ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट, तो वो तो सर हम लोग को मैनुअली करना होगा.
हाँ, ब्लू बुक के लिए मैनुअली करना होगा. लेकिन आपको मैं बताऊं कि जो आर्टिकल सबमिशंस का जहां तक सवाल है, तो बेसिकली हम लोग अच्छे अच्छे जगहों पे जहां भी देते हैं वहां ब्लू बुक नहीं है. खाली लॉ के केस में ब्लू बुक आता है. Otherwise, everywhere else, if you submit article for publication in Aries Corpus Index or say in IIT or IAM, you will find it is generally APA. APA 6th edition is what is generally asked. That is why it is popular and it is there. But I would suggest that all of you, like me, write to Microsoft and ask them to include Blue Book. They will not take much of a trouble for them. And once it is there, then we can use it for submitting to, say, law journals also. Law journals generally insist on Blue Book.
Then, sir, this has to be done, like log in the Word file and then.
But even for Blue Book, the sources remain the same. वेबसाइट के लिए जो जो आवश्यकताएं हैं
सर
वो वही बेसिक हैं जो कि यहाँ पे नोट की गई है।
एपीए में जो है वो भी वही चीज ब्लू बुक में भी है सर।
एपीए शिकागो में खाली स्टाइल चेंज होता है लिखने का,
ओके
कंटेंट वाइज कोई चेंज नहीं होती। तो
कंटेंट वाइज
कंटेंट वाइज आप सोर्सेस के अंदर डाल लेंगे तो आपको सुविधा ये होगी, जैसे अभी आपको एक बुक मिला, उसमें से हम क्या क्या चीज नोट करें, या एक वेबसाइट मिला उस पर कोई डॉक्यूमेंट है तो हम क्या क्या चीज नोट करें, वो नोट करने के लिए ये बहुत अच्छा टूल है। इसके अंदर अगर आपने एक बार नोट करके रिकॉर्डिंग कर ली तो वो तो सेव होके फाइल में रह गया,
यस सर
and you can use it whenever you want to use it, in any other style that you want to use it, you can do it.
ओके सर
Okay,
ओके सर
this is the situation right now. So let us not make it a master and believe that it has got everything. If I want to cite Blue Book, I will have to do it on my own. Okay,
ओके सर
fine. So now we move on to the Excel, unless somebody else has a question. So there is no question, so I move on to Excel. Now, in Excel sheet, say I will now tell you how to use the various statistical tools. So if you go for this insert function, okay, or you can go here, formulas. In formulas, you have insert function, and this is also given here. So if you click on this insert function, you get a dialog box. Now in this, I can select a category, all, financial, date and time, math and trigonometry, statistical. So I go for statistical. And I see that a lot of formulas are there. Average, which is nothing but your mean, chi-square, correlation, count, count if, blank, count blanks, all these are here. So this is advanced Excel, and you can see a lot of such things. So I've got a lot of, now how do I use them? Okay. So I cancel it, and let us say I will use something and demonstrate it to you so that you are able to use it. But I think yesterday I mentioned that I'm looking for two factors. One is age. This is of course age of lawyers, and average is disposal period. Okay. So I have got collected this data randomly. Okay. You can of course visit the lawyers and ask them for the information, and then build up the data. Let's say 28, and the average case disposal period is say 32 days. This is in days and this is in years. So another lawyer is aged 55 and his case average case disposal period is 66. I'm just taking randomly, you can take any figure, 34, and it is 52 days. Then we have somebody who is really old, 79 years, and his average disposal period is, let us say, 91 days. Another fellow is, let us put another youngster, say 22 years, and his case disposal period is, say, 20 days. Now I want to find out if there is any correlation between the age and the average disposal period. So what do? I select a blank cell, it could be anywhere, and then I go for insert function, and I'm trying to do what? Correlate. So I will click on correlation. Okay. As soon as I click OK, it asks for which is the array 1 or which is the one first list. So this is my first list, and then I click it back. So it asks for array 2. And what do? I show this is my array 2. This is where my data is, and I click back on this. And when I say OK, what do I get? I get a figure which is 0.97084. Now, can anybody tell me what does this mean? Anybody can interpret this meaning for me? This is, I have found the Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient.
So is it the difference between the two?
No. So this is Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient, which has come as 0.97. And all the calculation was done by computer. I did nothing except showed the computer which is my arrays. Now we will try to interpret and understand this. For interpreting and understanding this, you have to know your statistics.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what is the formula to calculate the Karl Pearson's correlation? As you just said that it is calculated by computer.
Yes. So formula is there.
There might be any formula.
Yeah, the formula is there. As soon as you open any statistics book, you will get the formula. Or if you search in the website also, you will get the formula. We are not interested in learning the formula. We are interested in interpreting and understanding the result. Formula is being worked out by the computer. Okay, so we are not worried about. We are only worried about result. तो आ गया, इसको interpret क्या समझेंगे, वो मैं अभी आपको बता देता हूँ. बहुत simple है. Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient, the answer of to this will always lie between -1 and +1. हमेशा इसके बीच आपको इसका रिजल्ट आएगा. -1 से लेके +1 तक, 0 भी आ सकता है. The more it tends towards 1, इसका मतलब है कि इसके अंदर एक डायरेक्ट कोरिलेशन एग्जिस्ट करता है. There is a direct correlation. एज के हिसाब से ही एवरेज केस डिस्पोजल पीरियड है. ये मैंने जानबूझ के डाल दिया था, इसलिए 0.97 आ गया, विच इज ऑलमोस्ट 1. अगर एक और हम इसमें कम कर दें तो ये 1 ही दिखा देगा. अगर एक और डेसिमल पॉइंट कम कर दें तो 1 हो गया. So it is almost 1. So which means there is a strong correlation between age and average case disposal period. Now if I get 0 or tending towards 0, 0 के नजदीक अगर है कोई फिगर, इसका मतलब कि दोनों में कोई संबंध नहीं है. There is no correlation between them. If it is negative, that means there is an inverse correlation. जैसे लॉ ऑफ डिमांड में होता है, प्राइस बढ़ता है तो डिमांड घटता है. ये इनवर्स कोरिलेशन है. कोरिलेशन तो है, वो प्लस के जगह माइनस होगा. माइनस 0.97 का मतलब इनवर्स कोरिलेशन है. दिस सेम थिंग कैन ऑल्सो बी.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you show this once again? I
How
have
it was
not
done?
got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Basically, you can have this insert function is here. In this, you have to choose correlation. CORREL. It is given here. You choose correlation. Okay. Now it will ask you for array 1. So you click here on this and you can show which is your array 1. This is your array 1. So you show it to it. Once you show it, you can click on this down button, which means it will collapse. And then you can show its array 2, which is, this is your array 2. So you select that. As you see, I have selected it. You can also write it by hand, C6 to C9, D5 to D9 and close bracket. That will also work. But this is how you can do it. And then you can close this. Once you have closed it, you have got the answer. So if you click on OK, value not available, which means I have put it in the wrong place. I delete it and I can go to another column and then I repeat it, function. Now, if I select here most recent use, correlation will come on top. Okay. Then I click on this. अच्छा, यहाँ से एक उड़ गया है. So what I do is I omit it, but एज के ऊपर ही रख दिए थे. Now I've got it back. So that is why we got the error. I put it on this. I have to put it on a blank column anytime. Blank cell, I'm sorry, blank cell. And then I go for the insert function. Use the correlation. Okay. Open the first array, which will be this. Then I go for the second array, which will be this. And now I have got it. Okay. So I've got the same figure, 0.970842835. I can decrease the number of decimals to say 2. So you see, this is how it is done. ब्लैंक सेल पे आपको रख के तब करना है. मैंने यहाँ पे रख दिया था तो ये एरर दिखा दिया because of this. Okay. Otherwise, you will all the time you will get the same result. Is this clear? How it is done?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very fortunately for you, there are some common errors which can always happen. I clicked on one of the common errors. So you learned that also, not to use it. unless you go for a blank cell. Now we try to understand. Numerically तो हम लोग समझ लिए. This is how it is done. Now I can go for what is known as a scatter diagram. This is a scatter diagram, as you can see. Okay, choose this. Now कुछ हमने select किया नहीं था, इसलिए nothing has come. Now I can select this and then I go for scatter diagram. Now I can see a chart. So I can write any title that I wish. And on my chart, I find that I have got something like this. So if on the chart, so if it is like this, that is, it is sloping positively upwards, that means there is a strong correlation, graphical interpretation. If it is distributed in this way, then we will say it has got a negative correlation. If the dots were lying on this line, it would be negative correlation. And if it is haphazard and kept everywhere, scattered everywhere, then there is no correlation. Okay, so this is how we interpret the data graphically. This is known as a scatter diagram. If you read any statistic book, you will get all these various options. Is it clear? Of course, these dots will be lying on in this way or everywhere. Then it is the lesser the intensity, the lesser it is correlated. If it is this way, then it will be negatively correlated or inversely correlated. If it is everywhere and there is nothing you can interpret, then you will call it there is no correlation between the two data. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll call it a day. I have to remember and stop the recording. If you have any questions,